Hey y'all, welcome back to Indie Flicks, where we break down your favorite shows one episode at a time. Today, we're recapping Love is Blind Season 10, Episode 6, and the experiment officially changes. The pods are over, the engagements are locked in, and now they finally see each other. Some reveals are magical, some are awkward, and some couples immediately feel different. Let's get into it. So, as we know, our couples are finally in their getaways, and I will definitely say this episode was nothing but physical, physical, physical. We learn majority of our couples have been physically intimate, besides Devontae and Brittany, and that can level up, your experience and your connection, definitely for sure. They finally get to meet each other on this night, put the face to the voice. If you had multiple connections and that connection is also here, you got to see who that person was. So it was definitely a very high intense physical episode. One person who really wasn't feeling all of the first introductions was Brie. And I thought it was a little crazy because they all connected on a night which also happened to be Connor's birthday. So it was like his birthday celebration. But Brie wasn't feeling it. She kept expressing she felt like everybody was being surface level, and that she thought conversations will be more in depth only because they've had those deep conversations in the pod. And yes, I don't feel like she's wrong in feeling that way. But also, we're here for your man's birthday. Like, what do you expect for us to have these full blown conversations, especially you? Why would you expect to focus on the person you determine as your number two and y'all connection on your man's birthday? In my opinion, I just didn't think it was the time nor the place. And you could kind of see Connor's face when they talk about it. Like, when I shut my other connections down in the pods, I shut it down. Like, it was it. It was finito. There was no rekindling. And maybe Brie, maybe she needed that conversation to fully walk away from that experience with that person and close the door and move on to the next chapter. But not on my birthday. Like, that didn't make any sense to me. They also had another group outing at the pool, and this is where things start to heat up. Brittany is over it with Devontae. They had a conversation earlier because she just felt like he was being distant. She was upset, I guess, in the morning. She wakes up, he's not there. She always has to go look for him. She's always the one, um, you know, trying to kiss him and not being, it being the opposite. She's expressed her love language is physical touch, and he's not giving that to her. And Devontae basically tells her, like, yo, there are moments where I get in my head and I just need a moment to think. I need a moment to process things, to, you know, just sit out, read a book, take pictures and stuff like that, because I do get in those modes. And she seemed understanding, but it's hard because this is someone you're newly connecting and vibing with, and it's also the person you ask to marry you. You have to give some type of leeway. You can't do strictly all what Devontae usually does on a regular, because she don't know you. You know what I'm saying? And this is a fast-paced environment. So I kind of felt Brittany on her frustrations with him at this moment. And she also expressed it too, with another person, just how she's feeling. And, I guess he's walking by her, not acknowledging her. She's not getting I feel like she's not feeling like that's my fiance. Like, they just friends at this point. And she's really just venting and getting it out. And you could just kind of tell, like, she's starting to get over it. Like, really be over it. And before, I was kind of hesitant anyways because I didn't think she was fully physically attracted to him. But she has another conversation with someone else who later on kind of confirms it. So Alex and Brittany go to off to the side and have their own private conversation. And I don't know if anyone else peeped, like, Alex was lingering around when Brittany was talking to Jessica and venting to her about how she was feeling with Devontae. So Alex decides to pull her to the side and shares how he's feeling in his current coupling. And he's kind of like, look, she's not the girl I usually go for. I'm usually going for, darker women, and he wants some melanin. That's what it was given. He wants some more melanin. He's not used to the white, blonde, blue-eyed girl. And he's just trying to figure that out or whatever. But the way he's talking, it's like I was getting a sense of he was kind of talking to feel how Brittany feels to see if she's gonna catch the bait. And I didn't like that. Like, if you are boys with Devontae, that should just be the conversation. Like, be there for your mans. You know what I'm saying? It almost came off like he was trying to talk to Brittany in a way like, hey, you invited me at work, and I may be open to it. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. Y'all let me know in the comments down below. That's the vibe I was getting. Like, he was trying to feel her out to see if there was a possibility that he's in there, because he admitted, not to her, but to us, that she is typically a girl he would go after if they were out at the bar. And you kind of could see that resonate with her in her response to him. Brittany also confesses that her type is usually tall and athletic guys, which is Alex. This is getting messy, y'all. And she's saying in her interview with production how she's concerned about Ashley and that she should be on the lookout. And I'm like, because of what? Because of you? Is that what it's given? Like, you might slide up in there because you're not getting all that you can get from Devontae. This is where things like this can get sloppy, because there was something like this on Married at First Sight. There was a season where it was two people who were married to other people, but they were friends and they were vibing and they were attracted to each other and they wanted messing with each other on the low. I hope this don't turn into that situation. I feel like Brittany has a better moral standing than that, but that conversation just didn't look too good. And I think Ashley kind of sensed that too, because when they got back to the room, Ashley was just asking Alex, like, was any of the girls flirting with you? Like, what were the conversations like? And of course, he's not admitting it to it. He's just like, it's just regular conversations. He doesn't talk to her about what he just talked to Brittany about him not having that physical attractiveness towards her, which I thought was strange because he said he would. Red flag. But yeah, we'll see what this turns into once they leave their getaways. Brianna and Chris also have a conversation, and she's basically telling him how she felt from, the first meetup, and, they weren't having the conversations that she expected to, but then goes around and says, and Chris and Jess makes sense. And I felt like Brianna was doing the same thing that Alex was doing, just trying to get a feel for who they were, if they were been open to exploring something else with someone else. And I didn't like that. I just think it's so distasteful. Like, you're there with someone else. And I feel like Connor also reads that too, because he's watching this, and you can kind of see his insecurity starting to show with this whole thing. Like, why do you need validation? And she said this. She's like, I need a validation. Why do you need validation from your ex about your current? Hello? Anybody else in the room? Why do you need validation from your ex about your current situation? That makes no sense to me. And you could see, like, when he would say, yeah, you and Connor make sense. She's like, we do? Like, what do you mean you do? You're questioning it? No, red flag. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Just get your man. Get your man from that lady, because she a sneaky one. And because of her apprehensiveness, I feel like Connor's going to be off this. I don't see it playing out good for them in the end. Her need for validation from someone else and her just not focusing on what she currently has. And if it's something that you don't like, say that. If you're not attracted to this man, say that. If you feel like you made the wrong decision, say that. Don't keep leading this person on. And you can kind of see it in his face. He's like, yo, like, none of what you're saying is making sense to me. And she's like, you just got to be patient with me. Give me time. For what? If anything, when we were in the pods, you broke it off with him. Do you forget? You broke it up with him first, and then you chose Connor. It wasn't the reverse. I'm telling you now. I think Connor is going to be fed up. He's going to be like, nah, you know what? You got it. I don't want no parts of it. So then later that evening, Devontae and Brittany have a conversation. And Brittany has the conversation that she said she would have, just how she's feeling. Really, she just doesn't feel like Devontae likes her. Let's keep it a buck. She doesn't feel like he likes her in a way that someone who is about to marry you will like. She's like, look, we're still in the honeymoon phase. Why does it feel like this? Why do you feel like you need to be distant from me? Like, we should be working on how we were going to be always together or whatever. And I don't think he's understanding. I don't know. I don't know if he's not understanding or he understands and he just doesn't care. But it's like, he's like, just take me, whatever. You got to take what you can get. And I don't want to rely on the race thing, but it's starting to look like that because remember, he thought he was getting a white woman and she's a whole Latina. So I don't know if that's really like what his mind is really on. Because remember, he said he's only dated one race, and that's been white. And he's not even a white man. I mean, I don't classify him as a white man. But this it's gonna end up bad. It's gonna end up bad. I think she's gonna eventually want to walk away from the process if nothing changes with him. I can see that happening. And you know what? I don't blame her because he's not giving anything. Like, you're not, yes, we know you have stuff going on at home, but everybody does. Everybody does. And if this, you knew what you were signing up for. I can't stand when people get on these shows and they act so oblivious of what the process is. And now all of a sudden, you can't do what the process is requiring. Please go. It doesn't make any sense. And you're just wasting people's time. Now, if it happens to be them separating, I do wonder if she's going to circle back to Alex if him and Ashley don't work out. Will it be messy? Yes, it will be messy. Will it be good TV? For sure. So we'll have to see. But I don't have confidence in this situation right now with Devontae. I just don't. Well, y'all, that was episode 6. The Beautiful Getaways, and that officially kicks off the real world phase of season 10. The reveals are done, but now comes living together, meeting families, and seeing if the emotional love survives physical reality. Let me know in the comments which reveal felt the most genuine. Did any couple surprise you this episode? And who do you think is already overthinking? If you enjoyed this recap, like, comment, and subscribe to IndieFlix. And I'll see you for episode 7. Because once real life enters the chat, everything changes.